Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Aries in mid-May 2020. What's going on, Aries? How are you guys doing? I hope you are doing well. All right, Aries, welcome to mid-May. How you feeling? How's everybody? Hope you're all well. Hope you're all safe. Hope you're all happy and healthy. I know it's still a difficult time out there for many of us dealing with the pandemic. Still, under some type of social distancing order. So wherever you are, I hope you're able to cope. I'm encouraging everyone to err on the side of optimism at this time. I think it's, we've been going at this for what, 2.5 months or almost 3 months now. And I think it's going to be really hard for many of us to keep our chins up and keep a level head in the game. Lots of frustration, lots of setbacks, and I understand how it's almost easy or it almost feels like a comfort to give into those more negative or low vibrational behaviors, actions, and thoughts. But I would encourage people to stay away from that, stay on your high vibe, stay away from people who want to get into negative shit or give it out to others. Like, it's just not a good look, okay? At this time, also Libra, excuse me, I just did Libra, Aries. At this time, Aries, I would also invite you guys to subscribe to the channel, as I'm thinking of eventually doing some surprise lives here on the channel. And the reason I suggest subscribing is so that you can be notified. Currently, I only go live about once a month, and I do it for specific zodiac signs because it's their birthday season. However, as the channel continues to grow and I want to meet more people in the community, I want to meet more of you guys that are out here supporting me, that means I got to go live more often, yeah? So I'm going to do that on a less scheduled basis, so I'm hoping to do it before the end of June. May, I don't know, with the scheduling and everything like that. But in June, hopefully I'd be able to do that a little bit throughout the month, or at least once a month. And if you want to be a part of that, again, I suggest subscribing so you could see when I actually go live here on YouTube. Set your notifications up so you can see that. But if you don't subscribe and you don't want to see me live, that's totally cool too. No pressure, ever. Never, ever, 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 ever any pressure, my friends, okay? So let's get into the regular spiel. Aries, I have shuffled and meditated off camera. We're going to do you a spread in a minute. It will mimic what it's like when you get a personal with me, but it's not going to be an actual personal reading. It is still very much a general collective reading aimed at the Aries individuals who are watching. If you're a cross watcher and it resonates, that's totally cool too. But again, don't take it too personally. It's still a very public general reading, all right? In the description box below, you will find the timestamp if you want to jump ahead. Also down there is the information you need if you want to get a personal reading with me. If you have questions before you place an order, just email me at the same address and I'll answer you as soon as I can. And the link to my Instagram is also in the description box, guys, if you want to give me a follow. The name is EmpathicFire Tarot over on Instagram. Right now, I'm only pulling oracle cards over there and interpreting them maybe, every other day or like 3 or 4 times a week. Maybe even 2 times a week if you're lucky. Or not if you're lucky, but it was a little rough a couple weeks ago. I just wasn't feeling it. But eventually, I'm hoping to do more things over there. Maybe I'll do some pick a card. So if you want to follow me, get different ways that I interpret cards and give messages, feel free. If not, again, no pressure. Now, let's go ahead and get into it. I want to see some messages and energies and insights for Aries in mid-May, please. Energies, messages, and insights for Aries at this time. What's most pertinent to their lives? I want to see these messages now, please. Ooh, look at me. Being all demanding of my guides. I've never said that. But now that I'm doing an Aries reading, right? All demanding and shit. Ridiculous. That's funny. Messages, energies, and insights for Aries at this time. Most pertinent to their life at this time. Please show me. That's hilarious. Give it to me now. If that's not an Aries attitude, I don't know what is. All right, let's get into it. Energies, messages, and insights for Aries, please. Wow. Can I get that? I think I can. Just gotta move that and get my foot on top of the card, and there we go. Don't work in tight spaces, guys, especially if you're a person of like a certain height. All right. Oh, hold on. There we go. There we go. People over 6 feet, we need a lot of space. So that's your first card. Magician in reverse. And then the universe, aka the world card. Anything else? Anything else for Aries at this time? Yes. Okay. One more. Aries, please. Okay, there we go. Side position. Do I take that? They want it like that, I think. Is that right? Yep, they want it like that. Okay. And, oh, it was like that. Yeah, there you go. Wow. 3 majors. Okay. Aries, let's do it. Magician, reversed. Secondary major for Virgo and Gemini. The Universe card. Secondary major for Capricorn, also fixed signs Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. And then the Hermit, major arcana for Virgo. You could be dealing with any of those signs or none at all. Take your pick. It is a general. But what's going on, my friends? You can't get what you want and you don't like it. Magician, reversed. Insolent energy. Pissy energy. Frustrated energy, misappropriation of resources energy, okay? Magician in the upright, I'll show you so you can get a better look at the card. Here you see this magician, this woman who's baking her little cookies, and we can presume that she followed a recipe. She did what she had to do to make sure those cookies were baked to perfection, right? In the reverse, the magician doesn't do things the right way, doesn't follow the recipe, does things in an inappropriate or disproportionate way, or doesn't believe they're capable. That's another way that we could read this, is simply not having faith or not having self-belief that someone is the person, the individual, is capable. I'm going to assume this is you. This is an Aries reading, but again, keep in mind it is general. I could be talking about someone who is around you. Regardless, the magician, whether it's out of purposeful, conscious, I keep hearing misappropriation. So you may have had resources entrusted to you, Aries, and you didn't do something correctly with them, or you trusted someone else with your resources, your support, your time, whatever you gave to another person, and they have misappropriated it. They haven't used it properly. They went outside of some type of boundary, or, went outside some type of regulation. If it's not that specific, because I'm feeling in that sense it's like a work situation or like a financial situation. Yeah, you may have trusted someone with your money. You may have trusted someone with documents and they like totally left them somewhere and it's confidential information. And it's like, what? You left all of those like customers' like personal profiles or portfolios on the bus? What? It's like that. Like someone may have made a bonehead move and you are in some form or fashion paying the price for that. Regardless though of how serious it is or what area of your life I feel this is affecting or being displayed in, I feel that this magician card is not serving you because you either consciously, Aries, have not made mistakes consciously, but you've done things outside the parameters of what is needed or what was required. You may have done too much or too little. Because again, with the visual here, what do we see? We see someone who's baking cookies. I say this a lot when I talk about this card and also when I talk about temperance. It's like literally follow a recipe. 2 cups of flour, you better put in 2 cups of flour. If you put in 3 cups, you done messed up. If you put in 1.5 cups, because that's all you had in the cupboard, you shouldn't be making the cookies in the first place because the freaking recipe says 2 cups, right? So, as an Aries tends to do, no shade, but it is also tea, you will do what you want to do when you want to do it. And sometimes that can get you into a pickle, Aries. You're known to be a pioneer. You're known to be headstrong. You're known to be self-made and persevere and persistent. But that also can read as stubborn, insolent, like I said, with the magician in reverse. Being told, we don't need it that way, or do it this way. And you're like, I'm not doing it that way. I'm going to do it the Aries way. And, all fire signs, hello, fellow Leo, or fellow fire sign here, Leo, okay? And Sagittarius can also get this too. Fire signs tend to think we know what's right. And I think someone here thinks they knew what was right, and it's being shown, no, not really. Not really. Or not at this time, or not in the way in which you've done it. So there's a need to self-audit or self-edit yourself. And the magician, when they're in the reverse, doesn't do that. When the magician is in the upright, it's a very cognizant and conscious energy that says, I know what I need to do and I know exactly when to do it and how to do it. And sometimes that means not doing anything or to be patient. And again, those are things that Aries is not about. Do nothing? What? Sit on my ass? What? Be patient? Huh? Those are all foreign concepts to you. So you have done or are doing something, or something has happened where your normal game plan was not successful or hasn't proven to be successful. And you, like, I keep getting this feeling of insolence. And now you're like a little whiny about it, if I'm honest. You're like a little like pissed off or annoyed or ticked off. But truly, or not even truly, I think you're like upset at the result, or you're upset at the circumstances at hand. Like if you literally left documents on the bus, it's kind of like, well, you're mad that the bus driver drove off so quickly, because as soon as you got like halfway down the block, you realized, oh, the documents, they're on the bus. And you went to run after the bus, but it turned the corner and now it's gone. A human cannot outrun a public transportation vehicle. That thing goes 20, 30 miles an hour. It's gone. But you're somehow mad that the bus driver did their job. They continued on their route. And you're like, well, why did he drive off so fast? Because he's got a schedule to keep. Like, what are you, like, you're not seeing that you possibly had a hand, partially at least, in what is screwed up at the moment. Yeah? So insolent. Like, they won't let me stop with that word, insolent. Now, let's get away from that, because that's not all that's going on here. So something that you were trying to create, because the magician is a creator, the magician is a manifester. You're trying to get something done or something accomplished in a particular way that you want it to be made. Because again, when the magician is in the upright, they do it in a very good way. They follow the recipe. They know when to, it says let it bake for 45 minutes. Don't open the oven. Aries in there opening the oven every 10 minutes. Is it ready? No. When you're in the reverse, is it ready? 15 minutes later, no. Is it ready now? 5 minutes after that. It said bake for 45 minutes. Don't check on it. Don't stir. Don't open the oven door. You don't let the cake fall. Your cookies are hard as bricks. You see what I mean? So because of that misappropriation, because of that not so great behavior, not so great judgment calls that you made, the universe comes along, and here comes this ending. Now, well, transition, chapter end, an invitation to let something go or move on, or in some of your cases, if this is about work, I would not ever really say this, but some of you might be let go. Especially if you are working in a job, in a position where there's a high level of sensitivity and confidentiality over documents, over money, over information, what have you, and you screwed up. And you can't get yourself off the hook, even though you want to, possibly say, well, it's this person's fault also, or because of this, I had to do that. And you're trying to excuse yourself or find a way out of it. I feel that in some of your cases, you're not going to be able to find a way out of it, and you're going to be on the hook for something. Now, generally speaking, this deck portrays things happily. So you might be looking at this universe card going, what? I'm going to be fired? I'm not saying all of you, of course, but some of you might be at least reprimanded, or you might see certain pathways in your job end. You might have been on track for a promotion. You might have been on track for a bonus. And now that you've shown a little bit of incompetence or a little bit of something that shows you can't be trusted or rewarded in a certain way, you might see the loss of something. Because the universe ultimately talks about completion points, right? This is, again, tied to Capricorn, which is tied to Saturn energy, okay? Saturn, if you don't know, is a taskmaster. Saturn, if you don't know, is a karmic, is tied to karmic lessons, yeah? And again, this card in this deck is not really portraying what this energy is all about. She looks happy. She's been, well, I mean, maybe that's the ending. It's like a happy ending in this particular depiction, where she's been crowned the winner. She's got her sash. She's feeling pretty. If I'm honest, because of the context around it, Aries, I don't know that you'd be happy with this particular ending or this particular loss of something. Again, literally, you might have been on track to be promoted, receive a promotion, or receive a bonus, thank you, or you may have been planning to apply for a certain job, and now that that has happened, and people in the company know, like, you might have been wanting to move to a different department, which would have seen a bonus increase or an increase in your salary, what have you. Now that you've fumbled the ball over here and made some mistakes, which are honest mistakes in some cases. In some of your cases, it was an honest mistake. You didn't know that there would be ramifications for what you did or what you said, right? But that's now public knowledge, or knowledge within your workspace. And now you may have been wanting to move on to a different career track, and people are going to know. Did you hear what Aries did? Like 2 months ago or 2 weeks ago? And here you go, sitting in the interview feeling like, oh man, I'm so confident I'm going to get this new job. And the person who's interviewing you, they heard what happened. You left the documents on the bus, Aries. You might actually be interviewed or presented with what you've done. So tell me, see, Saturn. So tell me what you did and why you did what you did, why you did it that way. And you might find yourself in a position where you are uncomfortably having to defend yourself, or comfortably. You might feel super confident and comfortable in it. But I feel as though some of you, like, it's not, I don't want to say, because you're all different people and you're all living different experiences with different, variables. So I'm not going to say too much more other than there's a particular pathway that you wanted to go that I'm not sure you're going to have access to go down anymore. I'll say it that way, okay? Hermit, as the final card of your initial spread here, this could be a friend or an advisor, or it could just be, where your mind goes, your subconscious goes when there's like a quiet moment. And there's like a lot of reflection here about what has transpired. Yeah. If this is a person outside of you, they could be a counselor or a therapist, could just be a good friend that you talk to over Zoom while you both, have a couple of glasses of Chardonnay or a couple of Budweisers or whatever the hell you like to consume. And you're just like, releasing the ails of the day, the stresses of the day by possibly exploring some not so pleasant, mindsets or emotions or thoughts. Yeah. Hermit in general, whether it's something you do by yourself or you do it with another person, is an exploratory energy. Looks to understand why things go south, why things take a wrong turn, and how we play into that. At least that's the invitation. I'm going to say it again. Insolent. Okay? Some of you are like, no, I didn't do anything wrong. And the Hermit is like, but really though? But really? And if it's a friend or someone close to you or someone that you trust, I think they would come in like, are you for real? Because from where I'm standing, from what you've told me, even though, I come on, like, let's get real here. It's like the Hermit is all about accountability of the personal. What does the individual, the subjective person, contribute to the outcome? Good, bad, ugly, in between, whatever. And some of you are like, well, I did everything I could. I did everything that I was supposed to do, and I still didn't get the result that I wanted. And this person is like, but did you though? Because, many of us, okay, let's put it that way. Many of us, not all of us, but many of us, when we do a self-audit, a lot of us are wearing rose-tinted glasses when we do it. Everything I did was perfect. And this might sound kind of narcissistic, and maybe, I'm not calling you out because I'm not wanting to diagnose anybody, because I can't, but it's giving me like that traditional fictional depiction of a narcissist. I'm not here to, use any modern psychology on a person, but this is like literally someone looking in a mirror, mirror on the wall, tell me who's the fairest of them all. And it's just like, it's not you, it's Snow White. And you're like, who? It's like, come on, be honest. Did you do everything correct in this situation? Hermit wants to know. Your friend, your counselor, your therapist, the bus driver who you see the next day. Hey man, why'd you drive off so fast? 'Cause it's my job? 'Cause I'm driving the bus? I'm not in charge of your personal effects. I don't keep track of people's bags or their portfolios or their briefcases. Like, that's not what I'm paid to do. I'm paid to drive this bus. Get out my face. You see? So it's like, come on, Matt. Come on. Any further messages here for Aries? Like, I'm not usually... Come on. Aries, come on. Yeah. It's okay, though. You know, I know the struggle. Again, fellow fire sign, I get it. When we think we're right, it's like a hard pill to swallow. The pill that says you are not right written across it. It's like, I'm not trying to swallow that shit. But I get the sense that some of you were not right. And if it's not you, again, it's general, it can be flipped. Any further messages for Aries, please? Further messages for Aries at this time, please show me. Tower, what I say? Further messages for Aries. Tower, that's your secondary major. And these are all major arcanas. And the Six of Coins. Secondary major arcana for Aries. So there you are, showing up in your reading. Kablooey. The Tower card and the Six of Pentacles. Or Six of Coins in this deck. Same difference though. Coins, Pentacles. It's all the same. So I think I think this vision you have of yourself of being fair, of being equal, right? Look at this. Of thinking you've done the best you could have done in the situation, you know, making the correct decisions. Like, look at this woman. Presumably, you know, and we would be assuming a lot, but, you know, contextually, she looks like she's got that fresh Karen hairdo, right? And she's got her cape, her handbag, the heels with the strap, nice skirt. She looks well-to-do. But what is she doing? She's tossing, not even handing, throwing coins, change at this person off frame who's in need of help. Tossing coins, tossing pennies, tossing low-value currency, assuming where she's from, you know, paper money actually has more value. Presumably, okay? We're presuming a lot. So if that's the case, Aries, you thought you were helping out, or you thought you were doing the best you could. And again, we presume a lot. We don't know. Just because she looks like she has money doesn't mean that she has money. This chick could be broke as hell. We don't know. But perhaps from the outside looking in, that's what has occurred. You could have offered more, could have been more, offered more, thrown more of your value towards a situation, or even recognized what was needed. Thank you. That's more the point. Recognize what was needed. Come on and focus. Recognize what was needed. So this hand is out. And perhaps this woman saw the coins that are on the ground. Okay, this person wants more coins. This person wants more pennies. This person could use a couple of quarters and $50. Perfect. I've got that in the bottom of this purse. Here I go. And digging down past the dollar bills, past the 50, past the 20, past the 100, to the coins at the bottom of the purse, giving what has already been seen as worthy. The coins on the ground. So I could get how, I know an Aries. I know you guys. What is expected of me? What is the precedence here? Coins, loose change, that's what you're used to receiving. That's what I'm going to give you. Versus, well, you're on the street or you're in need, or maybe instead of just giving coins, I could give a couple of dollars. So you can translate this in other ways, okay? So maybe at the job. You're looking for that promotion. What do I need to get promoted? I saw someone else get promoted and this is what they did. So I'm going to do what they did and get the promotion. Not considering that, well, who you are, Aries, maybe you need to do a little bit more. Or in some cases, maybe you need to do a little bit less. There is such a thing as doing too much, because if we go back here to our good friend the baker, remember, the recipe said 2 cups of flour. You could also screw up that damn recipe by putting in 3 cups of flour. You can put too much into a situation and become the magician in the reverse as well. Take your pick. Regardless of how you showed up and what you put into the situation or what you neglected to put into the situation, you get a tower moment. And that's interesting. I read that one before I read this one. This tower moment. Perhaps the tower moment is the realization that, oh man, I'm not getting what I want. Oh, why are you not doing that? Come on. There you go. Thank you. It could be the realization that you're not going to get out of whatever you're involved in, the result that you were hoping for, the promotion, the end of a certain situation. Some of you may have been looking forward to being done on a certain project, but because of, you know, the documents being left on the bus or left at home, or, you know, somehow not properly uploaded to the cloud, whatever, now your project or your assignment has been extended and you're like, I don't want this. But you didn't, there's something about not reading the situation right, not reading the signals, not being cognizant, or doing too much. Bad call, Aries, is basically how this sounds. You have been in a situation, or you're in a situation now where a not so great call is going to lead to a bit of an upheaval or a bit of an upset. Tower, I don't know that it'll be incredibly destructive like this card is depicting. In some of your cases, it might be. It might be quite earth-shaking or shattering for you, and it might really screw up your foundation or screw up your plans that you've laid so far. Maybe. But in other cases, it's just going to be like a slap on the wrist kind of an energy. Like, Aries, don't leave confidential documents on public transportation. That's a no-no. Don't do that. And you might get like reprimanded. You might get suspended. You might be fined if you're like in a legal setting, or if you work like as a lawyer or something like that. You might have to pay a fine because something happened. You might be under contract and you have now inadvertently violated a term in a contract, and you might be reprimanded in some other type of way where possibly you might have to pay some money out. Six of coins is giving. So you might have to pay a fine because of, you know, not so great decision making on your part. And again, if it was an honest mistake, it happens to the best of us. Even you, my good friends, even you. I'm messing with you guys, you know, fellow fire sign. I love my Aries. I love my Sagittariuses. You know, we walk a certain path, do we not? Now, let's get you an oracle card and let's wrap up your reading. Oracle card for Aries, please show me. Ooh, is that it? No. Okay, hold on. Okay. It's between two. Here we go. Okay, there we go. It was the first choice, but then, you know, they threw me off with the other deck, so hence the delay. But we're going to do the Divine Animals Spirit deck, or Divine Animals Oracle, excuse me, not Spirit, Oracle. Let's get into it. Let's see an oracle message for Aries at this time, please. Oracle message for Aries at this time. Please show me. It's almost time for dinner, my friends. What are you guys having for dinner tonight? I'm having spaghetti. Know why? It's fast and cheap. That's all I have time for these days. Anyway, oracle message for Aries, please. Yep, that's good. Here we go. Wow, all right. Easy peasy. Hyena. Card 38. Add that together. That's an 11. Okay. Let's go ahead and find it in the book. And these, like, they have like a lot of information about the animals and like the mythology behind them, and there's like a small bit of advice. So your card will have a little bit of advice from the book and then a little bit of interpretation from me. Now, hyena. There you go. Fear. Examine your fears, especially the fear of difference, of the unknown, and of death. There may be an abandonment of something, a belief, a person, a place. Remember that because something is strange, it doesn't mean that it cannot be beautiful or good. We all have a job to do. We all have our own genius. Be sure you have the correct information to have a truthful understanding, aka be accountable, boy or girl, whoever you are, okay? Yeah, I think like that bit at the, what did that say? Let me go back if I can find that pretty quickly. Here we go. 38. Be sure to have the correct information to have a truthful understanding. Okay. Remember I told you about your hermit friend or your counselor or your guide or whoever this is, or it could be something you do for yourself. That accountability of truthful information, honest information, accountability. Yeah. If some, look at the difference on the card. Like one side is desolate and the other side is all beautiful and full of life and vibrancy. And, you know, some of you might have a very total fatalistic or finalistic view of life or this situation. It's either you did good or you did bad, and maybe you're not allowing for the gray area, or you're living in the gray area and you need to kind of see, no, you actually may, you know, take your pick. You might be being too stringent or too restrictive in how you're seeing the situation, wanting to cast blame on others when really you might have part of the blame, or vice versa. You know what I mean? Take your pick. So that is your message, Aries. If you liked it, let me let me see. If you if you liked it, go ahead and hit the like button. Thank you. If you want to show or share how this resonated with a comment down below, feel free to do so. You can share the video, let other people know you like watching my stuff here on the YouTubes, or you can feel free to subscribe to the channel, show your support. Again, I love meeting new clients and new members of the crew. So if you want to join in and keep up to date on when I upload here to YouTube, that's totally cool. If you want a personal reading, again, the information is down below, as well as the Instagram link if you want to give me a follow over there. Aries, I'll be back soon with your June messages and your mid-Junes after that, and hopefully also still doing a surprise live here in the near future, and hopefully I see you then. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Take care.